going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to continue, trying to turn this sunroom and one of my rentals into a master bedroom. Because technically, this unit that I own has 0 bedrooms somehow. Like, that's really weird. So we're trying to fix that. We're trying to keep by the book as much as possible, you know what I mean? So to be considered a bedroom, you have to have at least one window. You need to have a closet, which we now have. We didn't have this before. We stole a little bit of room from the living room. And a door, and not just any door. That doesn't count, because that's a second egress. That is a fire escape. That does not count. It needs to be a door separating the room from the rest of the apartment to be considered a bedroom. So that's what we've been after. We've been trying to go. We've been chugging along, man. I have a couple other videos out about this, but basically, if you didn't see the other videos, this was a sunroom. It had French doors. The opening was to like here. So we closed this wall down. So we have room to fit a queen size bed right in here. And we got a closet. We had to put a new beam. We insulated everything. We put all brand new electrics. We had to bring the subfloor up a little bit for height issues. I slapped some shelves in this week. So I'm basically, I'm trying to get as far as I can with sanding, painting, closet, because this is tight. Once I put the door on, it's going to be even tighter. So I put a 12-inch deep shelf at the top, for longer term stuff that's not going to block the light, and then 2 14-inch deep shelves. And then I have a pole, black pole, already cut, ready to go for right here, for hanging stuff. And then obviously the flooring, the baseboard, and the door is going to be next. And then I did a first coat of mud out here with Easy Sand 90. The foundation layer of mud that just locks everything together. It's like the glue that just holds everything as one piece. And then I just basically scraped it. I didn't even sand it, just scraped it, blasted on a second coat, sanded the whole room, blasted it with primer, and then I just went around. I've been slowly, because this morning I got up and I noticed a bunch of stuff that was missed. So I mudded it. Then it started to get a little darker out, and I noticed more stuff that I missed. So in every light, you're going to see different things. And then when you put the first actual coat of paint, that's the color of the wall, you might see, some very, very small things at that point. All right, guys, it's Monday. After work, I spent about 2 hours today. After work, I'm pretty beat. I've got some pulled muscles in my chest from digging. I'm sore. But we got to keep this going, man. We got to keep it going. So we've got 2 coats on the walls in here, 2 coats on the shelves. They're still going to need a little touch-up coat after, we hang the door, put the flooring in the baseboard. We'll do one quick little touch-up coat in there, just one last blast, and that's done. Lights already in. Oh yeah, and it works nice. And then out here, I did 1 coat on the ceiling, finish coat, and 1 coat on the wall. So I like to put the first coat because it really helps show, anything that you missed. Alrighty, Tuesday after work, we got some more done. Got everything spot mudded, everything that I missed. As you can see, there's quite a bit. All the little air holes and little lines and scratches and whatever. From here, if there's anything left, it's going to be like not noticeable. Threw the closet pole in, and I caulked the drywall to the subfloor, which is not a normal, it's not normal practice. But it's a rental, so I don't want one tenant's issues to become another and another, you know what I mean? So I just want to get in the habit of doing this in a rental property, you know? So I priced out the hardwood flooring, the underlayment, and the nails last night on, you know, the website. And it came out to like $700 before tax. So, I mean, you guys aren't going to believe this. I grab the flooring, I put it on the cart, I go to the self-checkout because I know what I have. It's faster, you know, you don't have to talk to people. You just scoot in, scoot out. This lady looks at me and was like, come here. No, come here. Come here. So I went over to her and she wanted to scan my stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Like, I'm not going to steal anything. I'm here every single day. Every single day I'm in that place. And she scans all my stuff, and then she's trying to sell me a credit card so she gets a bonus. Then I started to figure out why. But she was so laser focused on trying to sell me a credit card that she didn't ring up some of the hardwood flooring. So I didn't pay $700. I paid $550. All right, guys, it's Thursday after work, and I, you know, scraped and cleaned the floor, got everything out, vacuumed, put down the tar paper. I put some painter's tape over the seams just because, you know, I'm a little crazy, I guess. Brought all the boxes in here. Actually opened a couple and stacked everything up, so now everything's open and it can breathe, you know, and just, you know, just do whatever it's gonna do. And I actually started the first row as well, just kind of getting a straight line. Did all of the plug covers because I noticed I had a drip under all three plugs. So I had to scrape it off. And now we gotta repair that. But I think it's important to put the covers on so you can see you see that little thing there? I mean, that is not premium. Especially around, you know, a switch box or a plug. I mean, you can have a little nick here or there, you know, but not in this vicinity, because that does not look premium. That's got to be on the up and up right there. All right, it is Friday after work. And we're going to start laying down some rows. It's been long enough, I think. So I got the Bostitch manual. So I don't like the pneumatic flooring nailers, because that pneumatic action, I feel like takes away from this thing. You have to hit it, and you have to hit it hard, but it slams the boards together and then it hits it. And I've never had any hardwood flooring I've ever done, I've never had gaps open up or anything like that. So, but this takes a little more effort. You know, it comes with a nice flooring hammer that has like a chiseled end, so you can tap on a board and it's tapping the bottom edge of the board, not the top, so you don't have to worry about damage. And it's graphite. So obviously I can't get this flooring nailer on. Like, I can't even use this until we get, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 rows out. So I know some people use a finish nail gun, which I did. I used finish nails right on the very edge of the board, where it's going to be covered with the baseboard anyways. Jammed a bunch of shims, got a straight line. And then I just, I like to pre-drill a hole. Take my chisel, you know, bang it into the floor a little bit. You can use it as a prying tool to pull everything tight. And then I just send these finish screws. Send those in, and it pulls everything down nice and tight. So in the beginning, when you just first start nailing, I take a full clip of these flooring cleats and I break it in half and only put half in there. That way this is not sticking out a mile. And I was able to start nailing third row, and I'll be able to keep going from here. What do you think, Duke? I think yeah, Saturday morning, and I think we're tired of living like this. I mean, dude, everything. Like, you can see all of Duke's footprints. Like, my whole room, dude. It's and I've already cleaned and dusted like twice. Like my bed, everything is just covered. And honestly, I'm kind of tired of it, so we're gonna go beast mode. Bruce. I don't know what's going on, man. You know, it says right on it, authentic American craftsmanship. Honestly, Bruce, you're giving Americans a bad name here. How in the hell did this pass quality control? I mean, that is absurd. That definitely would have created a little spongy spot in the floor. Not only that, so far there's been 2 boards that this groove right here was not cut all the way to the full depth, so you couldn't slam the boards tight. And on top of that, I've found a bunch of boards that have wood filler, and I get, you know, you're always going to use wood filler, but I mean, they leave clumps of wood filler hanging off the side that you have to shave off with a chisel before you install it. All right, we're switching back over to the screws. You can see I'm marking up the wall, a couple of dings here and there. You get a really, I mean, those 2-inch nails are not easy to drive, but I want this thing pulled down tight. I want no gaps. I mean, that's looking pretty good. Dude, look at this. That is nice. Dude, it feels solid. Like walking on it. Because this is 2 foot on center framing underneath. And this walking on the subfloor was spongy. But then we put 3/4 inch plywood screwed through. It definitely helped. And now that this is down, man, this feels like walking on a concrete sidewalk, man. It's solid. Got it floated right under the door, so we have a nice clean seam. Everything's sealed. Look at this. Not a gap in sight, man. Everything is slam tight. I know some flooring guys can be like, you didn't need to use 2-inch long nails. I know, I wanted to, you know? I just don't want things opening up. It's an old house, there's a lot of humidity in the basement. And under the crawl space, I wanted things slammed tight. So I use screws because they're threaded. They're not gonna pull. And then those barbed cleats. And I only use smooth shank like finish nails wherever necessary, which is not for many. And then here, like, dude, I had like 12 pieces. Like this piece, this piece, this piece. I had 12 small pieces left. Like next to nothing, 120 square feet, and I have nothing left over. The little pieces I have, I threw them in the fire pit. I tried to go a little further with this, but it's just gonna be too much messing, man. I think it's a waste of time. Like, I'll have to multi-tool this, you know, the 3/4 inch plywood out, and this thing's slanted, and like, I don't know, man. We've got these babies that these were leftover pieces from a job at work, and they were gonna go in the trash. I'm like, dude, 1 inch thick red oak like that? No, I'll take that. Thank you. So that piece, it's actually a 1 inch thick stair tread. And then there's 2 pieces here that I glued together this morning, put some crates in the back. But we'll plane and sand the finish off. I had some stains at the shop. I don't know if it'll be a mixture of the 2 or one of them, or maybe we'll have to go and buy one, I don't know. But we'll do some test samples on the bottom side. Try to get as close as possible for a match. But it's 1 inch thick, so that's beefy. And we're gonna have plenty of purchase, right? Because we're gonna come all the way to here somewhere. So we're gonna have plenty of flooring under it. I could put spray foam in here, and then we'll bridge the gap, come over to this side somewhere. You know, get some nailing there. And we're gonna put a 1/4 by 1/4-ish rabbet on the bottom side and the back, so that I can go get some of this thinner type flooring. The you know, cement based or composite based flooring that's very, very thin and less expensive. And we'll just slot it right underneath there, have a nice clean finish. Everything is sealed up, baby. Top of the morning to you lads. Oh, I just got back from the depot. This was $900. God, dude. That's insane. 3 8-footers. It's the new Finalizing slant fin. With like some diesel, like huge end caps, man. Those things are like, those are huge. We got one inside corner for over in that corner. Couplings, 90s, couple of street 90s, you know, for those tight turns. And 3 lengths of pipe, and very important. I know it's not gonna look as pretty because you have this nice painted white, you know, end caps and metal, and we're gonna put a screw that's not the same color through it. But it's a rental, and if it's not screwed down, you can count on it going missing. As you can see from in here, you see that? No end cap, no inside corner. I mean, it's just a mess. Some rooms, like, yeah, the front panel's just straight up missing. So every single piece is getting screwed down. So I suppose we should go down in the basement and drain down the system. So I start by separating everything out. And just off rip, dude, this new stuff is way nicer. I measured the old stuff. It's about a 1/2 inch slimmer than the old stuff. The fins look a lot different. Looks like, I don't know, it looks like a different fin design. And no longer are the days where it comes with a coupling for this to connect, and a coupling for this to connect, and a coupling for the top. So it was 3 pieces to get lost. You know what I mean? And now they changed it. So you can do this one piece, connects everything together, and it gives you the option to close a few of them off and keep some of them open if you're trying to control, you know, how much heat is being pumped into the room. Pretty cool, but already noticed an issue here. This pipe from the wall right to this edge of the pipe is 2.5 inches, so yep, that means we're gonna have to go in the other room, cut the pipes, and drill a new hole and come back through. That's why I didn't really finish or seal around these pipes yet, because I figured that was gonna happen. All right, first things first, I went around with my little stud finder, you know, that finds the drywall screw and just magnets to it. Marked them, marked all of them. And I actually found it easier. I have a little, it's a metal scratch-all. I took this metal scratch-all, keep it sharp, we gotta put the cap back on. But I took that and just whacked it with the hammer and punched a little hole. I noticed the metal on this stuff seems to be a bit thicker. I don't remember, I mean, it's been a while since I've installed this stuff. I was doing this when I was like 18, 20, 24. I was installing a lot of this stuff. You know, whole houses. I don't remember it being that freaking hard to cut, but I needed 2 different pairs of snips. And yeah, then screw in every single stud. And if there's some spots, I mean, obviously I'm gonna do like probably a very fine caulking bead across the top of the heat baseboard so that nothing can fall back there. It's clean and finished to the wall. You know what I mean? That's gonna be done at the end, and it helps kind of hold things in place. If installed properly, you should never really need to open this up. I mean, it should just go for years and years and years. But yeah, there's a few spots where I wanted to pull it because it was way too far off the wall, like right here, I believe. No. But there was a few spots where I had to like adjust this top fin down so I could get right up at the top and pull that top in. So I basically measured the whole wall and subtracted 2 3/8 on both sides. So it's 2 3/8 shy on both sides, and that gives you what you need. A, for the corner piece to click on, and then I really like the new design, because they used to have like these if you were passing through a wall, they just had this trim cover, but I didn't find any of those. And the problem with those trim covers is when you run the baseboard into it, it becomes an issue, right? If you ever did want to open it. But see, with these new slimline end caps, dude, look how much you have behind. You have a lot that slides in behind. You have a huge surface area, better chance of hitting a stud. But you see how this right here is solid, and then it hinges from there. So that's like 1.25 inches. Your trim is going to be 3/4 max, maybe 5/8. So you can put this in, and you can run your wood baseboard and die right onto it, and you have a nice clean finish, and it doesn't like impede, you know, function at all. Pretty cool stuff. It's expensive, so I don't know, I think everybody does it differently. I've had some plumbers I work for, they slam it right on the floor. Other plumbers shim it up. I like to shim it up just a little bit. And the reason I do that is just in case the floor does this a little bit. So I just use a 1/4 inch or the 1/4 inch side of a shim, and I just put one on each end. That way, if there's a hump in the floor or something, you know, you have a little bit of adjustment to try to straighten things out. If you slam it on the floor and there's a hump, you're pretty much screwed. All right, so as I figured, the pipes coming through were not at the right spot. That's why I did not finish mud all of that. So I had to come over here. Like, this whole piece of baseboard was dummy. It's like, if it's dummy, make it smaller. I mean, come on. When I redo this room, I might even see if we can pull this pipe down and bring it closer so we only need like a foot of dummy, you know? I'd rather not have it there, if at all possible, you know? So this stuff, I mean, we're definitely gonna have enough heat in this room now. This stuff is, so I was always taught, let me see. I was taught by a plumbing company, and this is, the way they did it, is they sanded, this has a bell on it, which usually you just sand the inside of a fitting, you don't sand the outside, but I was always taught to sand the outside of the bell as well, and inside. Obviously you don't sand the outside of a 90, but I don't know, it was just a habit, and I still do it to this day. And like, there's three different, there's many different kinds of copper pipe. You have L, or you have K, which is really thick. Then you have copper L, which is pretty thick copper. It usually has blue labeling on it, and that's meant for like your water pipes in your house. And then this is type M, has red labeling on it usually. It's a lot thinner than L, so heat can get through it a lot easier, and it's less expensive than L. So usually people try to use it for heat. But these fins, the pipe that's inside of this stuff is even thinner than M. I mean, it's extremely thin. So, and these little fins are extremely thin as well, so you have to be extremely careful with it. Probably should wear gloves if you're not used to it. Yeah, but when you're ripping off the fins, I take a pair of channel locks, I grab 2 at a time, and I just give them a twist, and they break right off, and then you just do 2, 2, 2 until you have enough off. But I actually dented the pipe a little bit by doing that. So they made this new stuff is extremely thin, which the heat's going to get through it a lot more efficiently. All right, this is getting a little hairy out here. So this is a insulation board. It's like cardboard. I kind of don't want to solder close to it. And by the time you slide this into where it needs to be, dude. So I'm going to pre-solder that 90 and then slide it in to that coupling and then solder that. And I'm going to pre-solder this 90 on and then slide that in and then solder that one. Look at that. I mean, could I have soldered that? Probably. But do I want to chance it in my own house? Like I say, it's a lot easier to do soldering in tight places in other people's homes. You know what I mean? When it's your house, it's a little different. But yeah, now we want to make sure everything is where it needs to be. Yeah, see, everything's straight now. We're sitting on the clips. Looking good. This was kind of a bear to get that in there. Clips look good. Everything's fully seated. Yep, that looks good. Yeah, you're always going to burn the wall a little bit. Yeah, that's already soldered. And we're poked through into the other room. So, now all we got to do is solder it up. I was hoping, because it's a nice day, I can have all the windows and doors and everything open, that I would not set, because this detector is linked to the whole house. So I just set the whole entire, like next door, upstairs, I set everything off. So yeah, anyways, it's all soldered except for in here. So now we have to cram in here and just reconnect those. You hungry? Are you the hungry kitty? Sorry guys, had to stop and make Duke dinner. Raw steak, raw chicken with a little bit of taurine and bone powder topped with a little Mexican cheese. Oh, he's in heaven right now. That is his favorite. Bon appetit, Duke. Had a good boy. Alright, so to bleed a system, a simple system, you know, you won't need, some systems they'll have, you know, like little bleeder things like this within the system, sometimes within the baseboard. But most of the time you can get most of it and then have the this little air vent take out the rest. So usually you'll have a shutoff valve and then a boiler drain. This is all in one. So I take the screwdriver and basically I've blocked the pipe right there, so no water can come up. So it's forcing all of the water up the other pipe, and it's forcing it through the whole system and then back down this pipe and then out the hose, so we can push all that air straight out this. So I just turn the water on, let it come up to pressure, run upstairs, see if you hear any, because you're gonna hear the air before you're gonna see water, which I already did. I checked, I didn't see anything. So now we're gonna open this and pull this. Oh, there comes the air. Look at all that air coming out. You can hear it. Oh yeah, oh, we got mucho air coming out of there. So I'm just gonna keep doing this, bailing the bucket outside until I'm not getting that anymore. Man, it's crazy. You can, you know, those bubbles that come up through the water, you can smell the flux in the, where you soldered. You can smell it. And that's why I wanted to A, flush it out. I don't want to leave any flux inside the pipe sitting there. And I'm not going to go crazy trying to get every air bubble out. I just wanted to wash out the flux, test for leaks. Valve is on, boiler's up to pressure. We got the bulk of the air out. Tell you what, it's not even that hot out yet, and Duke is already getting irritable. This cat does not like the heat. I've been catching him going down in the basement, laying on the floor and taking a nap. So yeah, I really want to finish this room, get an air conditioner, so Duke has somewhere to retreat to in the summer when I'm, you know, at work. But we're all tested for leaks. It's one of those things, man. I wanted to test it before we put all the covers and screw everything and then move all my furniture in here. Probably could have got away with not filling the system up, because I don't really need to fill it up yet. And hopefully I can finish this room before the end of summer and then fill it up, but nah. I'd rather just test it, make sure it's good, and then just seal everything permanently. Quickly mudded the holes there and over there. Once those dry, sand them, a little bit of paint. I don't want any exposed dry, you know, mud. And then we're gonna do quad max around the pipes, like make a gasketed freaking seal. And then out here, I mean, this is a common hallway. I still gotta Still gonna touch that up. But for the common hallways, the front's not bad. The back is really bad. The back needs to be done before the front. But we have a gaping hole here. So I think on this side, I'm gonna get steel wool, shove it in there, and then infuse the steel wool with foam. So if anything tries to chew through it, it'll just meet the steel wool. And then we can start, putting all the covers on and move on to the next thing. So I think I'm gonna cap the video here so it doesn't get too long. I guess this is part 3 of turning this sunroom into the master bedroom in this apartment, and we are getting close, man. So next video, we're gonna work on closing up, buttoning up this heat, and then one last trip to Home Depot to get all of the door trim, window trim. We're gonna have to make a new sill. I want to do one sill all the way through like it was, and then one over there. Trim everything out. We've got 2 doors, 2 thresholds, one last little touch-up paint, and then move in, baby. Hell yeah. So yeah, that's to come. Make sure you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. See you in the next one.